Ingmar Bergman warned you about the silence of God, the philosophy of the seventh seal. You're not broken. You're listening for something that never answers back. And that silence, Bergman heard it too. You've prayed into the void. You've asked if all this pain means anything. And when no one replied, you started looking elsewhere. This is a film about a knight who plays chess with death. But it's really about you and the silence that might be louder than God. Part 1. The plague was never just a disease. Black Death, 14th century Sweden. But don't let the setting fool you. This isn't about history. It's about now. A knight returns from the Crusades. His name is Antonius Block. He's seen war, suffering, useless death. And when death itself comes for him, he asks for one thing, a little time, not to win, not to live longer, but to find meaning, just meaning. You know this feeling, not fear of dying, but fear of dying without having lived. That's why he challenges death to a chess match, a metaphor that lasts the entire film. Each move, a step deeper into his own despair. Each pause, a chance for you to look inward. The plague is not just a background, it's a mirror. Back then it was rats. Now it's anxiety, addiction, isolation. Different shape, same question. Why go on when the world feels cursed? Part 2. The Knight Who Wanted Proof. You don't need more faith. You want evidence. So did Antonius. I want knowledge, he says. Not faith, not surmise. Knowledge. How many times have you begged for something real? A sign, a miracle, a voice that says, I see you. But the only answer is silence. In one of the film's most haunting scenes, he confesses to a priest in a dark chapel. Except the priest is death in disguise. What happens when your cries for meaning are intercepted by the very thing you fear most? You felt it. The universe doesn't seem cruel, it seems indifferent. And that, more than suffering, is what breaks people. Part 3. Jöns, the atheist with a soul. But not everyone prays. Some people fight with laughter, with wine, with grit. That's Jöns, the knight's squire. A man who believes in nothing and yet acts with integrity. He saves a girl from assault. He mocks religion. He lives moment to moment, eyes wide open. And in him, we see a different path. One that doesn't require belief, but demands presence. He doesn't ask if there's a heaven. He just makes sure this hell doesn't get worse. Camus called it the absurd. The idea that life has no inherent meaning, but that we can still rebel by creating our own. And Jöns, he rebels with humor, with decency, with love for the body and contempt for lies. He doesn't need a god, just a reason to keep going. Part 4. The couple that survived the end of the world. Then there's Joff and Mia, a small family of traveling performers. They sing, they act, they eat strawberries in the sun. While the knight searches for truth, they just live. They don't ask the big questions, because for them, joy is the answer. They represent what the night never had, the now. And when he finally sits with them, he forgets his fear. He doesn't talk about God. He watches the clouds. He laughs. He tastes. This moment is small, but in a world on fire, small moments are sacred. He gives up his game, his life, to save theirs. And in that act, he finds something better than knowledge: peace. Part 5. The silence that saves you. Still, even after this epiphany, the knight prays. In his final moments, he folds his hands, still hoping that someone will hear. Why? Why do we keep praying to a silent sky? Why do you still whisper to the void when no one answers? Because faith isn't always about truth. It's about need. And sometimes, belief survives logic. Tolstoy once wrote, "To understand death is to understand life." And Bergman showed that silence is part of that understanding. It isn't always cruel. Sometimes silence is the answer, because in that silence, you're forced to listen to your own heart. Part 6. The Dance of the Dead and the Living. In the end, death wins. He always does. The knight, the squires, the lovers, all swept away in a final dance. A chain of souls vanishing into the fog. But not everyone dies. The family, the ones who laughed, who lived, they escape. Was it luck? Was it grace? Was it art? Maybe those who lose themselves in love, in joy, in simplicity, are the ones who walk away. You've been playing chess with death too. You just haven't noticed the board. And maybe, just maybe, you don't need to win the game. You just need to make one move, one sacrifice that gives someone else a chance to live. Final reflection. The meaning is the movement. You were never supposed to find the answer. That's the secret Bergman buried in the silence. You're here to ask, to struggle, to feel, to live like a knight, to laugh like the squire, to love like Joff and Mia. There is no conclusion, no moral wrapped in a bow. Just this: you're still here, still breathing, still asking. And in the end, maybe that's all the meaning you'll ever need. And all the meaning there is.